Good evening. My name's Bob Connors. It is 6 p.m. I'd like to call the November 7th meeting of the Newbury Conservation Commission to order. Sam, can you read the remote open meeting law preamble and take a roll call of the members present?
Yes. All right. As a preliminary matter, my name is Samantha Holt, Town Staff Conservation Agent for the Newbury Conservation Commission. Permit me to confirm that all members are present and can hear me. Conservation Commission members, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. Give me 1 second. We do have Woody coming in right now. So Bob Connors.
Yes.
Brad Duffin.
Yes.
We do not have Diane O'Brien tonight. Mary Rimmer.
Here.
We do not have Mick Brown yet. TJ Conti.
Here.
And Woody Knight. You are on mute, but he is here.
I am here. Sorry about that.
Good to
That's
see you.
all right. All right. Good evening. This November 7th, 2023 open meeting of the Newbury Conservation Commission is being conducted remotely, consistent with the act relative to extending certain COVID-19 measures adopted during the state of emergency, which extends the governor's March 12th, 2020 order suspending certain provisions of the open meeting law until March 31st, 2025. This order suspends the requirement of the open meeting law to have all meetings in a publicly accessible physical location and allows public bodies to meet entirely remotely so long as reasonable public access is afforded so that the public can follow along with the deliberations of the meeting. Please note that this meeting is being recorded and that attendees are participating by video and/or telephone conference, and the recording will be available on the Newbury Access YouTube channel. Meeting materials were provided to the Commission members prior to the meeting for review and were posted to the Conservation Commission webpage for public access. Before we turn to the first item on the agenda, permit me to cover some ground rules for effective and clear conduct of our business and to ensure accurate meeting minutes. The chair will introduce each speaker on the agenda. Proponents will be given 10 minutes to present. More time may be allowed at the discretion of the chair. After they conclude their remarks, we will go down the list of commission members, inviting each by name to provide any comment, questions, or motions. Please hold until your name is called. Further, for all attendees except commission members and staff, please remember to mute your computer using the mute button or your phone using *6 to toggle mute and unmute when you are not speaking. Please remember to speak clearly and in a way that helps generate accurate minutes. Please be aware that video participants can see you and that you should take care not to screen share your computer unless you have been allowed to do so. Anything that you broadcast may be captured by the recording. For any responses, please wait until the floor is yielded to you and state your name before speaking. If commission members wish to engage in discussion with other members, please do so through the chair, taking care to identify yourself when you wish to speak. There will be an opportunity for public comment and questions during public hearings. After commission members have spoken, we will afford the public an opportunity to comment and/or ask questions as follows. I will seek questions and comments at the appropriate time through the Zoom raise hand function. For video conference participants, to raise your hand, hover over the bottom of the Zoom window below the photo gallery and click on the yellow hand that appears. If you don't see a yellow hand, click on the participants button. A list of participants will open and display on the right. At the bottom of this participant area, you will see an option to click on a raised hand button. Please ensure your name is fully and correctly displayed on the participant list. You may rename yourself using the More function next to your name. For telephone participants, to raise your hand in a Zoom meeting, hit *9 on your phone's keypad. We will then allow questions and comments from members of the public who have raised their hands in the order in which they appear listed on my screen based on when the function was selected. Each participant will be called upon to provide their name and address or affiliation and will be afforded 3 minutes to make comments. More time may be allowed at the discretion of the chair. The proponent and commission members will have the opportunity to reply as needed, and your hand will be lowered when you've been given the floor for your questions. We will then continue down the list of those in the raise hand function column and again afford time for responses as needed. All participants are reminded that only matters which fall into the jurisdiction of the Conservation Commission may be discussed. The chat feature has been disabled for this meeting, and everyone is expected to conduct themselves in the same manner they would at an in-person meeting. Disruptions that impede operations of this commission will be addressed once by the chair and should be acknowledged by the disruptor. Further disruptions may result in complete removal from the meeting with no readmittance. Vulgar or obscene actions or comments will result in immediate removal from the meeting with no readmittance. And finally, each vote taken in this meeting will be conducted by a roll call vote.
Okay, thank you, Sam. All right, upcoming meeting dates. Our next meeting will be December 5th. At that meeting, we will determine the January meeting date, checking availability of the members. All right, first matter before the commission is a certificate of compliance for DEP file number 0500043, 39 Middle Road, for work to install a septic system. Sam, can you provide an overview and a recommendation on this matter?
There's unfortunately not much to overview. This was a order of conditions that was issued back in the 80s, the very early 80s. Unfortunately, because of the issue that we had with the flooding and all the records that we had that had to be destroyed, we don't have any record of this project on file, with the exception of the recorded order of conditions. Unfortunately, the health department doesn't have any record of this either because it's 40 years old, so they don't have anything. But as far as we are aware, the septic system was installed, and we just kind of have to assume that it was done correctly. So I would recommend a complete certificate for this one
Okay.
and get this closed out.
Yeah, sadly, we have more of these with the mold and mildew problems of the past catching up to us. All right, questions from the members. Mary, do you have any questions on this one?
No, I don't.
Thank you, Mary. TJ, how about you? Any questions?
Not much to question, no.
No, just that mold mildew policy for the town of Newbury,
Yeah.
I guess. Woody, any questions on this matter?
No questions. Thank you, Bob.
Okay, thank you, Woody. Brad, any questions on this one?
All good, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Thank you. Mick hasn't signed in yet, Sam. I don't see him, but
I do not see him yet, no.
okay, so
Mr. Chair,
yes.
Mr. Chair, I got a text from him trying to verify the meeting code. I corrected, he had a missing digit, so I expect that he should join shortly.
Okay,
He says
great.
he's still.
Great. Thank you, Brad. Sam, I have
Mhm.
no questions. Any raised hands from the public at this time, Sam?
I do not see any.
All right. I'll entertain a motion to issue a certificate of compliance for 39 Middle Street.
So
So
moved.
moved. Second.
Okay. All those in favor, say aye. Mary,
Aye.
TJ,
Aye.
Woody,
Aye.
and Bob Connors votes yes as well. Thank you. All right, next order of business.
Mr. Chair, you forgot a commission member.
Who did I forget? You?
Yes,
Brad, how do you vote on that?
I vote aye. For the
You-
record.
You know it is Brad. Not having Mick or Diane in place, I'm skipping around on my list here, and you get lost in the fog of the meeting.
That
my-
does not surprise.
You get lost in my own mind, which is a pretty scary place to be, but. All right, moving on. Next matter is a certificate of compliance for DEP file number 0500303 544th Street to work to renovate a single-family home. Sam, can you give us a overview and a recommendation on this one?
Yep, pretty much the same situation. This is another one from the 80s that we have no record of other than the recorded order conditions. And unfortunately, the only information that we really have for this one is that it was renovations for the existing structure. As far as I can tell, work was done, and the house is still existing. So my recommendation would be for a complete certificate for this one as well.
Okay, thank you, Sam. Questions from the members? Mary, any questions on this one?
No questions.
Thanks, Mary. TJ, any questions?
No.
Thank you. Woody, any questions?
No questions. Thanks, Bob.
Okay, thank you, Woody. Brad, any questions?
All good, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Okay, I have no questions either. Any raised hands from the public, Sam?
I do not see any.
All right, I'll entertain a motion to issue a certificate of compliance for 544th Street.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, second. All those in favor, say aye. Mary,
Aye.
TJ,
Aye.
Woody,
Aye.
Brad,
Aye.
Bob Connors votes yes. Okay, thank you. Next order of business is an enforcement order. Our file number 41820 Northern Boulevard for work to expand the second floor. The enforcement order issued for work beyond the scope of what was approved. Sam, can you provide an update on this matter?
Yep. So this was, sure we're all familiar with it at this point, 20 Northern. They got the RDA approval, or the negative determination rather, for the work to essentially expand the second floor and match the second floor deck to the first floor deck. They ended up having to basically take the entire house down to the foundation, unfortunately, due to the condition of the walls. The enforcement order was issued. It was ultimately ratified by the commission to basically just include requirements to make sure that they stayed off of the dune grass and that they remained in kind of a small path around the house. They did a great job. Ben, whose last name is escaping me, from Boston North, did an awesome job keeping up with the weekly reports while the work was ongoing. He communicated with me really well. I checked on it on a regular basis pretty much every time I was out on the island, because it's right out in the open. I was able to drive by and check on it. They did a really good job keeping everything off of the dune grass and everything like that. And I've taken a couple rides by it since they requested the enforcement order to be cleared, and everything looks great. The dune grass looks like it's coming back pretty well, even given the time of the year. And I think, Bob, you actually had gone out to take a look at it as well when they were initially requesting to have the enforcement order cleared. So my recommendation would be to clear the enforcement order and advise DEP as such.
Yes, I also had a chance, Sam, to take a ride by, and it does look that there was no lasting impact on the dune grass. It looks pretty robust to me. All right, so questions from the members. Any questions, team? Mary, any questions on this one?
No, Bob, I didn't have a chance to take a look at it this before it got dark tonight, so I will rely on your and Sam's assessments.
Okay, thank you, Mary. TJ, any questions on this matter?
Are they completely done construction now?
They're living in the house, and I'm
Yeah.
assuming that they have an occupancy permit, and that was the trigger for them to be able to
So it's all set.
come back.
That's-
Yeah.
That's all I have.
Okay, thank you, TJ. Woody, any questions on this one?
No, sounds good. Thank you, Bob.
Okay, thank you, Woody. Brad, any questions? You walk by this house every day, Brad, with your little fluff ball.
Yes, I do. And I have no questions, Mr. Chair.
Okay, I do not see Mick yet. He must still be having some trouble logging in.
He is.
I
is.
have no questions. Sam, any raised hands from the public?
I do not see any. I do just want to make sure that we clarify, assuming that we're going to have a vote to clear the enforcement order, that you guys are all set with me, including language that they can remove the snow fencing that they had up that was kind of acting as their limit of work to keep them off of the dune. I don't think it's super necessary anymore, so.
No, I think that we'll entertain a motion to close out the enforcement order, and the temporary measures can certainly be removed on that. But okay, I'll entertain a motion to close the enforcement order for 20 Northern Boulevard.
So
So
moved.
moved.
Okay, is
Second.
there roll call vote?
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Mary,
Aye.
TJ,
Aye.
Woody,
Aye.
Brad,
Aye.
and Bob Connors votes aye. Okay. All right, next order of business is a request for determination of applicability. It's our file number 4336 Independence Way for work to install a generator. Sam, can you provide an overview and a recommendation on this? I saw it in the Dropbox. Pretty complete filing, actually, for an RDA.
Yep. So luckily the generator installation ones are usually pretty quick and easy. So this one, give me 1 second and I will open these up. And I just uploaded a site photo, earlier today, so we can see that. We share that. All right, so this is the RDA filing. You can see we have the aerial photos showing where the generator is going to be going in. And then I have the site photo here. So the generator is going to be going in. Pretty much everything that's around it is all just sand, and there's some kind of scrubby grass and stuff that's just kind of coming into the yard area around it. But it's going to all be going in areas that are currently essentially just disturbed. So I don't really have too many concerns about this one. I don't know if there was a note. Yep, so it does have the 2-foot platform listed in the description. So I don't have any concerns about this one. I think the only thing I would note is that in the negative determination to add a note that the platform, what type of materials the platform should be made out of, and that it should be up to the discretion of the installer. And I guess to maybe note if anybody has any issue with it being installed on a concrete pad, to make sure that gets noted. Otherwise, to note that it should be installed on either the wood platforms or some sort of an elevated metal platform.
Okay, now Sam, I'm assuming this is going to be fed by propane and from an existing tank.
That's correct. Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Hey, Joe, why don't you, Joe, you're the owner of the property, I'm
Yes.
assuming.
Yep.
Why don't you just give us your name and address for the record, and then we
Sure.
have some questions you can answer them for us.
Sure. It's Joe Wadlin, 6 Independence Way East. We actually own 4, 6, 8, and 10. So the parcels on both sides of the house lot as well. So it's just, all right, what's there now is a gasoline generator that the prior owners had a portable gasoline generator, and this will be a one that's hooked up to the existing propane tank, and will be a fixed location. So that's pretty much it.
Okay, I'm assuming that you're going to be putting the feed underground from the propane tank?
Yes, we were doing it through Morel Electric out of Amesbury, who we were informed has done a number of installations on the island, and I forget the owner's name. He came out, he's a great guy, and he seemed to know what he was doing and has done a lot of these on the island. So we're just relying on him, really.
Okay. All right, Joe, why don't you hang on, see if there's any questions from the members that you might be able to answer. All right, Mary, any questions on this project?
Yeah, can you just clarify the concrete pad? Is that just like a disc that's placed on grade? It's not you don't need to pour anything. It's just a precast kind of rectangular pad.
To be honest with you, I had no involvement. I mean, this was all of the language there, the project description was filled out by Morel Electric. They did all of that. I relied on his representations. Look, if you don't, whatever you want, concrete, metal, or whatever you determine, we're fine with you. We
I'm just
don't
trying to understand what the work is.
Mary, it typically is. I've done these with Morel before, and they usually do. It's some sort of precast pad that would essentially just kind of gets placed on the ground, and I believe they typically use kind of like similar to a diamond pier footing. They anchor it into the ground so that it doesn't become a projectile, and then they typically have some sort of metal framing that elevates the generator up the 2 feet that it's required. Either that or, and I've also seen, I don't think I've seen Moral do it before, but I know some other people have put them up on wood pilings before on a wooden platform, but I know that there's some question from installers as to whether that's a safe option or not. So most people like to gear more towards the metal framing, either driven into the ground or on the concrete pad.
Yeah,
Okay,
this is in a Zone X flood zone, Mary. It's probably the highest point
Okay,
on Plum Island. It's,
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, I'm just trying to understand the construction. If it's elevated, why it needs a pad. It's just, maybe somebody can answer that. I just didn't understand. I think it's, yeah,
okay. Thank you, Mary. If there's anything else that pops up, Mary, just
yeah,
let me know.
thanks.
TJ, any questions on this one?
No questions.
Woody, any questions?
No, I don't have any questions. Thank you, Bob.
Okay, thank you, Woody. Mick, Brad, any questions?
No, I'm good. Thank you, Mr.
Okay, and so I mean, I've seen these done before, and to Mary's point, a lot of times, this isn't in a flood zone, it's in a Zone X. My cousin used to own this house. I don't know if Joe, you bought it from.
Yes, yes, we did. Yes, we did. Yep.
And so it's one of the highest elevations, I think, on the island. It would seem to me that in this case, you could just put that precast, either fiberglass or concrete on grade and place the generator on it. Where it's not in a flood zone, we're not really worrying about storm flowage or overtopping.
I believe our bylaw doesn't allow stuff to be placed directly on the ground, regardless of the flood zone. We do have that 2 feet of freeboard for everything, so that even in a Zone X, it does have to be elevated.
Because of the dune standards.
Yep.
Okay,
It allows for the free movement of sand and water.
yeah, that may be under the act, but it's not in the bylaw as far as that. But okay, that was my only question. So what is the pleasure of the commission? We have I'll entertain a motion to issue a negative determination based on its proposed installation.
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second,
Okay, all those in favor, say aye. Mary,
Aye.
TJ,
aye.
Woody,
Aye.
Brad,
Aye.
Mick, Diane, and Bob Connors votes aye. Okay, thank you, Joe.
All right, thank you, folks. Have a nice evening. Thank you again.
All right, we have another RDA, and it is for our file number 434 for 156 Boston Road for work to replace a fence. Sam, can you give us an overview and a recommendation on this matter?
Yes. So this one second, turn this around so we can see it. There is a existing, we do have the homeowner here as well, to answer any questions. So, there we go. So there is there's an existing fence on the property line, that is, I believe it's a post and rail fence right now. And they are just looking to do the repair and replacement. Oh, nope, it's a privacy fence. Sorry about that. So they're just looking to do repair and replacement, and they have spoken with the building commissioner and the inspectional services admin about the regulations on that front. So they are aware of, the 6 foot limit before you need to get the building permit, and the requirements for as you get down closer to the street, They're really just looking to repair and replace the existing fence, but they do have the wetlands around. Mary probably remembers doing the notice of intent for the septic replacement out here sometime last year-ish, maybe a year and a half ago. So they do have all these wetlands out in the backside. So the fence is going in on this side of the property. It does get kind of close to the wetland line, but they're just repairing and replacing what's existing already.
All right. Any questions from the members? Mary, any questions on this one?
No, as long as it doesn't go any closer to the wetland than shown on the plan there, that I'm fine with that.
Okay, TJ, any questions on this one?
No questions.
Woody, any questions?
Nope, I don't have any questions. Thank you, Bob.
Okay, thank you, Woody. Brad, any questions?
Seems straightforward. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Okay, and I do not have any questions, and I don't see Mick yet. Sam, any raised hands from the public at this time?
I do not see any.
All right, I'll entertain a motion to issue a negative determination for 156 Boston Road.
So
So
moved.
moved.
Okay, roll call vote. All those in favor? Say aye. Mary,
Aye.
TJ,
Aye.
Woody,
Aye.
Brad,
Aye.
Bob Conner votes yes as well. Okay, good evening.
Thank you.
Okay, our first public hearing is a continued public hearing on DEP file number 0501417, 76 Cottage Road for work to upgrade the septic system. Sam, I think the way we left this was the only remaining issue was the Board of Health approval, and you notified us that it was.
Yep.
approved.
Yep, they are all set with the Board of Health. They are good to go on this one. I don't see Alec here, but I'm sure that he would be more than happy to hear if you guys are willing to close out the hearing and issue the order conditions for this one. I don't believe there were any issues or concerns about anything as far as the layout and the design goes and whatnot. Not that we really have much control over the design, but I don't believe there was really too many concerns about anything from a conservation standpoint since the last time Alec presented anything. So
there were no changes to the plan on the
Nope.
approval? Okay,
nope, it was approved by the Board of Health. I believe the most recent plan that we have is from, let me see what the date is.
I think as long as that's the one that was approved and presented.
Yeah, I think it was the, it was from September 18th. And that was for the addition of the relocation of the well.
Okay. All right, questions? Sam, anything else? I'll circle back with you if you have anything else, but,
Nothing from me.
okay, thank you, Sam. Mary, any questions on this one?
I think this is the one, if you can refresh my memory, Sam, that we made some changes to the wetland boundary with some stakes that were put out in the backyard. Is this the one on, oh, no, thinking of a different one. This is the
Yeah,
one in
I
the
know which one
riverfront
you're talking
area.
about. This one's
Okay.
different.
This is the one in the riverfront area. Got it. Yep,
Yeah.
I'm all set. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mary. TJ, any questions?
No
Okay, Woody, any questions?
questions.
Just a clarification question. This is the one they couldn't get a DEP number for a while for one reason or another, and
Yeah, this
Yeah,
languished in,
Forever to get it.
okay,
languished in DEP purgatory for a few months.
okay, no, and I remember the presentation now. I just want to make sure that I was thinking of the right thing. Thank
Okay.
you. I don't have any other questions.
Thanks, Woody. Brad, any questions on this one?
All good. Thank you.
Okay, I do not have any questions on this one. Sam, any raised hands from the public at this time?
I do not see any.
Okay, Does any member have a request for a site visit or additional information or plan amendment or adding additional content to this notice of intent? If not, do we have a motion to close the public hearing?
So moved.
second,
Okay, all those in favor of closing the public hearing, say aye. Mary,
Aye.
TJ,
aye,
Woody,
Aye.
Brad,
Aye.
and Bob Connors votes yes. All right, team, this is when we would typically entertain any special conditions. Well, this is a septic system. Any particular additional conditions we should entertain? Mary, anything that you'd like to see added that?
I think the boilerplate will cover it.
Okay, thank you, Mary. TJ, any comments? on
nope,
the
all set,
special
we're
conditions?
good.
Okay, Woody, any suggestions on special conditions?
No, none at all. Thank you.
And Brad, any comments, suggestions?
No, Mr. Chair, thank you.
Okay, and I have none. Well, I'll entertain a motion to issue an order of conditions for 76 Cottage Road with the usual conditions attached.
So moved.
Second,
Okay, roll call vote, all in favor, say aye. Mary,
Aye.
Woody,
Aye.
TJ,
aye,
Brad,
Aye.
Bob Connors votes yes. Okay, I think Eric, what was it, Alec? What was his name? The gentleman?
Yep, Alec Chongris.
Yeah, you're a very patient guy dealing with all of the, trying to get a file number and all that. Okay, next public hearing is DEP file number 0501418, 9 Plumbush Downs, for work to relocate entry porch, deck expansion, and vertical expansion. Sam, can you provide a project overview and a recommendation on this matter?
Yep, this one's pretty straightforward. It's very similar to another project that we just had over on Plumbush Downs that we did an approval for a month or two ago at number 11. Tom is doing this one as well. It's a pretty straightforward project. And we do have the file number for it. And as far as I am aware, I don't believe we had any comments from DEP. But I will pull that up just to make sure. Yep, I don't see any comments from DEP on that one. And we got the file number for this pretty much right away. So I don't really have too many concerns about this one. So my recommendation would be to send this one on through today.
Okay, Tom. Thank you, Sam. Tom, why don't you give us your presentation? I have to comment on your backdrop. Is that on Plum Island or Salisbury?
Where do you think? It's actually down in front of that last house off Temple.
Okay.
Before the dune healed quite a bit. This used to be a party spot before that place was permitted. All right. I'm going to share my screen with your permission.
Yeah, Tom, just identify yourself in your position. Please.
Absolutely. So Tom Hughes with Hughes Environmental Consulting here on behalf of Bill Cole, and Bill Cole and his wife share this this home with their parents, the Fellows. The Fellows are actually looking to move into the house full time, and basically the project expands this sort of small upper story that you see here in the picture to encompass the larger footprint, and the deck expands here, and we move a porch over on this side. This is where there's sort of a gravel way that runs out into the marsh, out to the river, that has been there as long as Plumbush Downs, as far as I know. So let me flip through. So location right here off Plumbush Downs. It's kind of in that western portion of the larger Plumbush parcel. There's the property right here. You can see it's pretty much surrounded by lawn. Endangered species habitat is basically at the marsh boundary out. We're not proposing any work in there. It is within the AE 13. It's also within the limit of moderate wave action. Here are some photographs. Here's the building viewed from the east, viewed from the north, the west. There's the home from the marsh. I'm actually at that kind of place where the gravel road goes out into the marsh. There's this boathouse-like structure. Basically, the wetland line runs along basically an edge of fill to, you know, sort of mid slope, runs along a wall at this point, and then just follows pretty much very similar to the delineation on the other property that you guys saw recently. It's a really obvious wetland line. So this shows you kind of existing profile and proposed profile. You can see how we're just essentially squaring up the upper story, and my menu is kind of in the way of this. I'm not sure. Can you guys see that bottom section? I can try to get that. That's probably a little better. So you can see how what we do is we also expand the deck out to give a little bit more recreation space. And then in terms of where this is in relation to the resource area, all the work proposed is outside the 50-foot buffer. The expansion of the deck is really the closest thing. That is proposed to be on either sonotube or a helical pile. And it's supported both at the perimeter and up near the building. We remove this entryway, which is actually outside the buffer zone, but all of this is within land subject to coastal storm flowage. It's also part of the Great Marsh ACEC. And then we move the entryway over to the other side of the building. We have equipment access clearly labeled on the plan. We show a dumpster location. There's a nice, you know, fairly long drive, plenty of place for contractor parking and access to the site. It's a really straightforward buffer zone project, and it's a project within the ACEC that does not impact any of the ACEC values for which it was named. It's all within an already developed portion of the area. And it's a really straightforward project, and I'm happy to answer any questions and would hope that the commission could issue an order tonight.
Okay, thank you, Tom. Any questions from the members? Mary, any questions for Tom on this project?
This is not in riverfront area, correct? It's
Right, it's too far
Okay.
away from mean high water. Right.
that's what I thought. I think that I looked at the plans. It looks pretty straightforward to me. It's very flat. You're not in a velocity zone. You're elevating the structure, so I'm all set. I have some questions about these lots are condoed, right? So
Right.
how do you deal with a separate order of condition, recording orders of conditions in that scenario?
Well, there is a deed associated with each condo.
Mhm.
And they just get filed with reference to that condo, but essentially it does go, you know, each condo owner has a certain
all
percentage of the open
responsibility.
space, but yeah, but all of this is within their kind of exclusive use portion of the
Mhm.
of the area. So it is defined. We haven't had an issue with that yet.
Okay. Thank you, Tom.
Mary, anything else?
That's all. Thank you.
Okay, TJ, any questions for Tom on this project?
No, pretty straightforward.
Thank you. Woody, any questions for Tom?
No, I don't have any questions for Tom. It looks good. Thank you.
Okay, Brad, any questions for Tom on this project?
Not at this time, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Brad. I do not have any questions. Sam, any raised hands? Let me circle back, Mary or Sam, any follow-up questions on either of your part or comments?
Tom might have mentioned, but the types of piles that you're using to support this?
Either as labeled here, it's either proposed helical pile or sonotube.
Okay,
So
I
it's
thought we were
one or
getting
the other.
away from sonotube.
I'm not on Plumbush. Plumbush is not
Okay.
considered, it's not considered dune. So that
Okay.
it's really just a matter of
All right, that makes sense. Yep, you're
Right.
right. Yep.
But there may be peat that underlies it, in which case the helical is probably the better option. So that's something where we just wanted that option to be able to choose the right
Got it.
structure.
Thank you.
Okay, and Sam, any other comments you want to make before we?
I am all set on this one.
Okay, any raised hands from the public at this time?
I do not see any. Actually, I don't think we have much of a public anymore.
Well, you know what, it's either we're doing a very good job or they're bored to death with us and they're not bothering to follow anymore. All right, do any members have a request for a site visit or additional information or plan amendment or adding additional content to the notice of intent? And if not, do we have a motion to close the public hearing?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, roll call vote in favor of closing this public hearing. Mary, all in favor, say aye. Mary?
Aye.
TJ?
Aye.
Woody?
Aye.
Brad?
Aye.
And Bob Connors votes yes as well. All right, any special conditions, Mary or team, that we want to entertain for this? Seems pretty straightforward and usual fashion. Tom has incorporated everything.
I don't have any special conditions.
Okay, team, anyone else have any special conditions we want to discuss? Okay, hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to issue an order of conditions for 9 Plumbush Downs with our usual conditions.
So moved.
Do we have a second? All right. Okay, all those in favor, say aye. Roll call vote. Mary?
Aye.
TJ?
Aye.
Woody?
Aye.
Brad?
Aye.
And Bob Connors votes yes as well. Thank you, Tom.
Yeah, thank you very much. Have a great night. I think I've continued my other 2 hearings, so it
Okay.
should be a short evening for you. Take care.
All right, so we have a continued public hearing on DEP file number 0501409, 18 Fordham Way, for after-the-fact approval of work to replace 2 sets of beach access stairs. And there's been a request by the applicant to continue this hearing to December 5th. Do we have a motion to continue the public hearing to December 5th on this matter?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor, say aye. Mary?
Yeah, before I do that, was there anything, Sam, on a deadline for making this filing? I thought in the original order, enforcement order issued that we had a deadline for filing the notice of intent.
I think it was the
Yeah, that was
application.
for filing the notice.
Yeah, just the application, I think Mary was the.
Just
only-
the application. Okay, got it. Then I consent to the continuance.
Okay, thank you, Mary. TJ? How do you vote on continuing this matter?
Aye.
Okay, Woody?
Yes.
Brad?
Aye.
And Bob Connors votes yes. All right, so this is continued to December 5th. Okay, our next continued public hearing, DEP file number 0501386, 333rd Street for work to install a driveway to provide on-site parking with associated site work, including work within the 33rd Street right of way. The applicant has requested a continuance to our December 5th meeting. Is there a motion to continue this matter to December 5th?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay. All those in favor of continuing the public hearing, please say aye. Mary?
Aye.
TJ?
Aye.
Woody?
Aye.
Brad?
Aye.
And Bob Connors votes yes. All right, well, I think that could be a record team. It's now 6:44 and we've finished all of our agenda items, or public agenda items. Sam, any staff reports or other updates you want to provide for the commission?
Nothing that I have. I am all set.
Perfect. CSO release discussion. Brad, any update on your endeavors on that?
Motion to adjourn, Mr. Chair.
Okay, is there a second?
second,
Okay, all those in favor to adjourn, say aye. Roll call vote, Mary,
Aye.
DJ,
aye.
Woody,
Aye.
Brad, and Bob Connors
Aye.
vote yes. Let the record show a meeting was concluded at 6:45 PM.